The skin on the palms of your hands ripping from excessive swinging work on rings, bar or P-bars is a pretty common problem in gymnastics. It's so common that people tend to just accept it as an inevitable part of the sport which you just have to deal with. It is true that you'll never be able to completely remove the risk of your skin ripping. It will always happen occasionally, particularly during periods of quite intense training. But there are several things that you can do to reduce your risk of ripping and to improve the rate at which your rips heal. By ripping less often and healing faster, you should be able to practice your swinging skills more often with less discomfort and should therefore be able to progress more quickly on these apparatus. Here are my 5 top tips for reducing risk of and treating ripped skin. Number 1, wear handguards. If you're an experienced gymnast, the chances are that you already do this, but if you're a bit newer to the sport, then you may well not do. The handguard transfers some of the shear stress from the swing away from your skin and into the leather, meaning that your skin takes slightly less of a beating. You can get away with not using handguards if you're a child or a relatively small, light adult, but if you're older or heavier, it would definitely be my advice to get some handguards. The obvious disadvantage is that they can be quite expensive, so it depends on how seriously you want to take your training. No handguards currently exist for parallel bars, unfortunately, but handguards are available for high bar, uneven bars and rings. Number 2, don't overdo it. When you're coming towards the end of a heavy swinging session, you can usually really feel your palms starting to hurt. It's good for your skin to be sore by the end of the session, as by stressing the skin, it adapts and thickens for next time. However, if the skin rips off completely, that area will be made thin and vulnerable for weeks to come. The trick, therefore, is to do as much swinging work as possible without actually ripping. It's quite a difficult balance to get right, but once your hands start to really hurt, it may be best to quit whilst you're ahead, move on to something else and save your hands for another day so that your next session can be equally productive. Number 3, tape up your problem areas. If you want to really improve your swinging work, you don't really have time to wait until each rip is completely healed in order to start again. It's best to wait until it's partially healed and then train through the later stages of recovery. You do, however, have to be very careful during this phase, as obviously the area that ripped previously is at high risk of ripping again until it's healed completely. Use tape to cover the areas that are most at risk. Which tape you use is obviously down to personal preference. I use 2.5cm Lion finger tape. It sticks to your palms very nicely and is very easy to tear into the lengths that you want. Number 4, file down your calluses. As your hands adapt to high volumes of swinging work, you will start to develop thicker and thicker calluses on your palms. Somewhat counterintuitively, if these get too thick, they're more likely to rip off completely. You don't want your palms to get too bumpy. What you should be aiming for is a constant thickness of skin across your entire palm. I recommend therefore that you use a nail file or something similar to smooth down your calluses after every heavy swinging session. And number 5, use cream. Filling your rip up with cream will increase the speed at which it heals compared to just leaving it alone, but be warned, it does sting quite a bit. I use O'Keeffe's Working Hands Cream, which works very nicely, but Sudocrem is also a very good, more common alternative. Try to rub some in just before you go to sleep every night until the rip is fully healed. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it and that you found it useful. If you did, be sure to like it, favourite it and share it with anyone else who you think might find it helpful. For more regular updates, be sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel, and for even more videos and updates, make sure that you like my Facebook page and subscribe to my training YouTube channel. If you have any comments, suggestions or questions, please leave them below and I'll make sure that I get back to you. Thank you, hopefully see you again soon.